Today's video about toxins and their role in aging. So this is a question: are we aging because of toxin accumulation in our body? Okay, let's consider this. So we know that our animal cells, they have so-called powerhouse or mitochondria. They produce energy molecules ATP. This is adenosine triphosphate, and these molecules are used as energy source for all organelles, for all what the living cell is doing. So without this ATP, nothing works. So in the more mitochondria we have in the living cells, the more energy we can produce, the more the cell can do. Especially many mitochondria are in muscle cells. So mitochondria itself is a very special organelle. It has a double envelope, and then it is again, it's quite complicated how it works. But it is designed for, or it is what is doing, it is burning with oxygen, burning sugar, burning glucose, in fatty acids actually, and sometimes proteins, but not so much. Mitochondria produce energy molecules ATP, as I said, but with age, number of mitochondria in human cells and their size decrease. Elders tend to have less energy than young people and get tired quickly because they just don't have enough energy in the cells. Also, malfunctioning of mitochondria can be a cause of cancer and chronic diseases. But why it happens? Why it is happening? Why do my mitochondria degenerate with age? So I believe that very big part in it is some kind of toxins. And toxins you have to consider not only toxins which are getting from environment and food, but toxic substances which are produced in our body also. Yeah, we will talk about this maybe in more details in next videos. But for example, let's compare so-called white fat cell and brown fat cells. So these white fat cells, they are just storage of fat, and brown fat cells have a lot of mitochondria. They can produce energy to keep our body temperature at constant. And we see that in time, when the newborn infant, the infant has many more brown fat cells, and they are located mostly in here, and backside, and here, and also on inner organs. So they keep the body at the same temperature. They are very, very important for the life of the infant. But in time, the brown cells, they degenerate and they get converted to these white fat cells. You see, it goes in steps. What is happening? Number of mitochondria drops as in any living cell of our body, and then we have fewer mitochondria. And instead of many small vacuoles, many small volumes filled with fat, we have one big vacuole. So this process actually changing from white fat cells or white adipocyte to brown adipocyte is reversible actually. So it is the same question of rejuvenation. So when we are getting older, the cells are getting like in white, converted to white fat cells with fewer mitochondria, with few energy they can produce, and but we can reverse it under some circumstances. And what is stopping this process of rejuvenation? Of course, it is inflammatory, some signal molecules which produce inflammation in our body. So this inflammation signal molecules can be many. It is kind of Some senescent cells, for example, produce this inflammation substances, and then also oxidative stress. Oxidative stress is coming from working of mitochondria. When mitochondria is burning glucose, then it is produced, then the mitochondria produce a lot of so-called reactive oxygen species, ROC, and this ROC, they damage DNA, they damage mitochondria itself, and all this, it has to be considered as toxic substances. So toxic substances, not only toxins from outside, from food, but also it is some metabolites which are produced in our body. So, and but browning also can be done, and this rejuvenation also may happen if we are in cold environment, for example. And some chemical compound, chemical medicine, chemical compounds also may improve our functioning of the mitochondria. We should not forget also about the gut microbiota. This microbiome is very, very important, and it is producing a lot of short-chain fatty acids, and these short-chain fatty acids, they are burning in mitochondria without release of these toxic substances. So it is again that if we keep our microbiome in our guts healthy, then it is a way to rejuvenate cells, to increase number of mitochondria, to produce more energy, to be more energetic, and to this. So the adipose tissue, or tissue with fat cells, they are quite complicated in structure. It is not only fat cells, it is full of stem cells. Stem cells, they are not only producing fat cells, because again, in time of, if we have excess of energy in our body, then the stem cells may produce new fat cells, new adipose tissue, and then we are getting more energy stored in our body. But also the stem cells can migrate to somewhere else and replace the damaged cells. So they are absolutely necessary for rejuvenation of our body. But when toxins accumulate inside the adipose tissue, the stem cells regenerate, they degenerate, pardon, and they are suppressed. So this again, that aging is related to accumulation of toxins in the adipose tissue, in fat cells. So adipose tissue is a reservoir of energy storage of stem cells, a source of essential substances for the production of hormones. And adipose tissue supports and protects our internal organs. But fat cells in the adipose tissue also is a place to deposit toxins. If we cannot remove toxins from our body quickly, then they migrate to this adipose tissue, to fat cells, and accumulate in there. The amount of toxins is increasing in time, so as we are aging, we accumulate more and more toxic substances. So my opinion that the accumulation of these toxins in the adipose tissue is one of the causes of senility. So that we are getting weak, we have not enough energy, then because of toxins, and this toxin produce inflammation in the adipose tissue and in all our body. When we are really old, and weak, the number of senescent cells, these are cells which are damaged by toxins, damaged by genetically damaged, pardon. The number of these cells can be 10% of all the number of the cells. So as I will make another video about these senescent cells, which are really react to toxins, and then toxins turn the good living cells into some zombie cells, so senescent cells. So indeed, the maximum human lifespan is supposed to be from 125 to 140 years, but most people are passing away long before they reach age of 100 years. There are many publications which are related to accumulation of toxins in adipose tissue, and one of these, for example, you can Google it, and this is a review article published in year, pardon me, 16, no, 18 or 18. I don't see it. Sorry. Okay, I think 2018. So it was very extensive the review, and so it just shows that in time we have this accumulation of toxins, and so it is not discussing how to remove the toxins, but just indicates that we accumulate toxins in this adipose tissue. The accumulation of some toxins is greatest in fat around viscera, to is inside of our body, while the highest concentration of other toxins is found in subcutaneous fat, so it's under our skin. So it depends on when we are getting the most of toxins. If it is in childhood and young age, then it is when we have not so much fat under our skin, then it goes to inside our body. And then later on, if people are obese, then it accumulates in other parts of the adipose tissue. So with fasting or intense training to burn fat, some part of the toxins get released into the bloodstream, while another part gets absorbed by the rest of fat cells, by the rest of adipose tissue. So the concentration of toxins in the adipose tissue is increasing while we are burning fat. This is why it is so easy to start burning fat. We are losing weight very easy in the beginning, but the further we go, the more fit we are getting, then it is more and more efforts we have to do it. And also then every time we try to burn fat, these toxins are getting released to our bloodstream, and we are feeling not very well. So it is exactly situation, my situation, that I lost a lot of fat, but now I got problem that if I keep one meal a day, and if I'm trying to keep this intermittent fasting for long, then I am getting this toxicosis. So as I said, in time it gets more and more difficult to get rid of excessive adipose tissue. Therefore, burning fat too intensely and to very low levels may damage your health. So be patient, go slowly, listen to your body. But again, try to remove toxins from your food and from environment to live in a cleaner environment with clean water, clean air. Then we have less toxins accumulate. But toxins are not only from outside. We produce toxins also inside of our body, and then we have to clean it. Then autophagy is one of the way to clean it, that's also the diet. If the diet is rich in carbohydrates, then a lot of these toxins will be produced by mitochondria, and then the mitochondria themselves will be damaged, and also damage of the DNA and our nucleus, all the cells. Eventually, the cells can get senescent, so that they are losing ability to procreate. They are just only produce these toxins, and these toxins they are poisoning our body. So again, indeed, we will consider obesity itself as a protective reaction of the body to accumulation of toxins. If we consume a lot of toxins with food, for example, with a lot of vegetable oil, and vegetable oil is concentrated amount of toxins from seeds. I was talking about this many times, because the seeds are full of toxins, and if we extract vegetable oil, then it is full of toxins, natural toxins, but also of some herbicides and pesticides and other chemicals which are used to protect our crops. So first step, obese people have to limit the amount of toxins they are getting from food and environment. So what is important, before you start to burn fat, you have to change your diet, you have to remove toxins, and you have to avoid this concentrated toxins in vegetable oil. You have to stop eating in processed food. So animal food, animal products are the best, because at least animals also remove toxins. They do accumulate some toxins, but if animals are relatively young, if we eat meat and organ meat from relatively young animals, they are not so toxic. There are some toxins, but again, it is question, so we can remove them, and then this is what I am discussing that here. So again, anyone who is fasting and burning fat can experience severe discomfort, dizziness, nausea, and weakness when they switch to burning fat accumulated in their body for energy. This can happen on the second or third day of fasting on a diet rich in carbohydrates, or after 14-16 hours on the ketogenic diet. So when I was young, I tried to get fasting, but again, my feelings were very severe this discomfort, and so I was giving up after 2-3 days. So I just was impossible to get further. With ketogenic diet, when I switched to ketogenic diet, I am burning fat mostly as a source of energy. And this also, when you are trying to get to ketogenic diet, you're getting this ketogenic flu symptoms, with this discomfort. So, and this discomfort, and if you keep 1 meal a day, also when toxins accumulate, so you're burning fat, but your own fat, but then toxins accumulate in your blood, and then at higher concentration you see this. So you see that fat cells release toxins in the bloodstream, and what can help? What can help? Intake of sorbents and animal fats can reduce the concentration of toxins in the blood. Why? Because epithelium of our intestines is permitted. I mean, they are rich with blood capillaries, and when the epithelium comes into contact with sorbents like bentonite clay and saturated fat and activated charcoal, toxins get absorbed eventually removed from the body, because diffusion go not only from our inside of our intestines to our blood, but vice versa. So it is, if we have in bloodstream a lot of toxins, and inside of the intestine we have sorbents, which include animal fat, and then this toxins, fat soluble toxins, will migrate, and in part, of course, not all toxins will be removed, but at least some part will do so. So you can burn fat not only by fasting, but also by switching to a protein diet without fats and carbohydrates, with intensive physical activity. So if people are young, if you are young, you can do it. You can do it but yeah, I was already talking in my old video about Chinese student who burned his fat by eating up to 70 egg whites a day. And also he was attending gym and continued to make intensive exercises. So, and as he is young, relatively young, he probably did not have much of this suffering, of this discomfort, because accumulation of toxins is increasing in age, and also it depends very much on food what you eat. So, but however, in case if you are old, and toxicosis can become very strong, and therefore even old people with some already weak, not so strong, they even can pass away from toxicosis. So we have to be very careful, and the intensity of fat burning should be reduced by increasing the proportion of animal fats and carbohydrates in the diet. So if you want to burn fat at some late stage, Yeah, as I said in the beginning, it is very easy to burn fat just by keeping carnivore or ketogenic diets. But the less fat you have, the more concentration of the toxins in the adipose tissue, and then it is harder and harder to remove this fat and to remove these toxins. So you have to just slow down a little bit, slow down, and then you can slow down by consuming not only proteins but fats and carbohydrates to some amount. And then elimination of toxins will take longer while in this case, but without serious health risk. So bodybuilders usually include some carbohydrates in their diet because exercises to increase, before exercises to increase their intensity. Indeed, muscle growth and local release of growth hormone depends on exercise intensity. We need the growth hormone for rejuvenation. So we have other, I'm not much focused on growing my muscles. I am already 63 years old. The amount of growth hormone is very limited in my body, so I cannot grow much muscles. But yet, again, if I keep this high intensity interval training, and then the more intense the exercises, the more we have a local release of growth hormone, and then the local release of growth hormone also go to other parts of my body. And this, please remember, please maybe watch my old videos that rejuvenation was achieved with injections of growth hormone, with DHEA and metformin and some zinc and some other supplements. But again, the growth hormone is very important, and then in our age, I cannot pay so much money to get injections of growth hormone. It is expensive, so I rely on release of growth hormone natural way in high intensity exercises. So I may recommend that eating a ripe banana or a spoonful of honey before the exercises. I personally, I don't do it now. I just think it is okay. And I know that some other people are doing so. Instead, what I am doing, I take some fat, animal fat before the exercises, and it helps me to reduce amount of toxins. And maybe I will try to add some carbohydrates later on. The removal of fat-soluble toxins from the body is mentioned in the book Build Your Health by Nikita Kharlov. This is a Russian guy, a Russian doctor, young Russian doctor. The book is available in Russian language, but certainly you can translate to English with Google. This book is available for free, and I recommend everyone to read this book. I am especially pleased to find that the author's opinion coincides in many details with my own vision of the problem. So I can only quote from his book that toxins are gradually accumulating in the fat cells. Okay, then this is what I say. I was actually quite accidentally discovered this book a few days ago only, and it is not very long book, and but very nice book, and quite many things are, to my opinion, are correct. So again, some citation from the book. During the weight loss, fat-soluble toxins are released into the bloodstream from the adipose tissue. Yeah, this is what I am telling about. So, and I especially welcome Nikita Kharlov's opinion that the vegetable oils are toxic to humans. They are able to accumulate in the body, and in time they gradually break down to form toxic metabolites. Yes, indeed. So we know that this unsaturated fatty acid, and especially polyunsaturated fatty acids, they are prone to oxidation, and when they oxidize, they produce some really substances which we cannot consume, which should be considered as toxic. But it is not only not only this. We also have to keep in mind that vegetable oils contain natural toxins from seeds in high concentration. This is actually absolutely important. And this is my reminding. So I remind you this to avoid plant-based food. At least for a time, you trying to get rid of the fat. And Nikita Harlov recommends using food quality clay as sorbent, such as bentonite and activated charcoal as sorbents. I have it, I try. It's actually really help, but not so much. Again, when I use the bentonite clay, it's better than charcoal. To my opinion, but problem with constipation. If you're prone to constipation, be careful. Don't take too much of this bentonite clay. So according to the author of the book, sauna, exercise, as well as eating liver and deep sea fish also contribute to elimination of toxins. Yeah, okay. So this is what I did before this book. I was buying the beef liver and was eating mostly beef liver without any fat, and it was again quite good way to, but to some extent when you're losing your fat more and more, then you're getting to some limits that you cannot remove toxins. If you're only on protein diet, you have to include some more fat and carbohydrates to slow down this process. You cannot do it very quick. So with age, obesity and especially body fat percentage increase, while muscle mass and bone mineral density decrease. Yeah, this is why we have to keep the carnivore diet in older age and with high amount of proteins. So another important change is that the fat tends to accumulate in men predominantly in the abdominal cavity here and around inner organs of our body, so it gets the most dangerous location, because release of toxins from inside our body and inside our body near the important organs, inner organs, then it kills the organs. And again, it turns it is not only disturbing the work of mitochondria, it is turning the cells, the healthy cells, into senescent cells, to the zombie cells. And so zombie cells accumulate together with the accumulation of the toxins. So aging contributes to the redistribution of fat outside the reservoirs of novel adipose tissue. So indeed, in older age, fat accumulation also occurs in the bone marrow, muscles, internal organs, and inside other tissues. For example, fatty degeneration of the thymus gland occurs, and thymus gland is absolutely important part of our immune system. And then again, I can refer to this publication of when rejuvenation was achieved by injection of growth hormone, metformin, and DHEA. Mostly, then rejuvenation, again, metformin is changing metabolism of our body. We are not consuming much of carbohydrates as source of energy, but we are it is shifting our body to burning fat, and then it is again related. So we burn in fat, we remove toxins, and all the job is going, rejuvenation is going on. So, in time, again, as I said, these brown cells, which are healthy and which are very, very rich in mitochondria, they decrease from 5% in infant bodies to about 1% in elders. And also, we have fat degeneration of bone marrow, and we have accumulation of fat around our heart, and fat degeneration of liver and around our inner organs. And again, remember that even if it is under skin, then again it is not healthy. It is full of toxins. This is a source of danger. So we have to do it something with it. So with the carnivore diet, intense exercises, body fat gets first redistributed to legs and buttocks. Buttocks, as shown in the next slide, but to detoxify the body, we need to get rid of the fat together with toxins at least for a while, and then to repeat it in while maybe every year, maybe I don't know. How do you feel? This is what happens with me. So I started this ketogenic diet already about 8 months ago, and then what I see, I lost fat in this abdominal area, and it is redistributed to my legs, and now it is a big problem for me because I was trying to remove this fat, it didn't work, so I shifted to this protein diet and hope it will help. It maybe helps, but I have this toxicosis. I have very strong nausea. So I have to slow down. This fat is very difficult to remove, even if it moves so that it is not so dangerous for inner organs. But yet we have to remove it to get rid of toxins completely, at least for a while, and then you can move again to consumption more fat, animal fat, and then make this cleaning of your body every year or maybe every 2 years. So my opinion is that for rejuvenation we need to get rid of fat and toxins accumulated in. Personally, for fat burning I keep 1 meal a day. Yeah, now I'm a little bit shifting, so I eat a little bit more fat tissue. I mean animal fat before exercises, but it is not so much. It's just to reduce this toxicosis. And so if I used to eat predominantly beef liver and other internal organs like heart, kidney, as well as canned sardines. Canned sardines, they are rich with omega-3 oil, and I was considering, okay, this is a good way to remove toxins, because toxins get dissolved in this omega-3 fatty acids inside our intestines, and then it gets out. So, but also I go for high intensity interval training every almost few times a week, 4 or 5 times a week, and I go to sauna and swimming and try to sleep longer. I already explained how I do it. I take metformin before the night, but also melatonin. Melatonin together with Dramamine. This is combination of Dramamine with metformin, works quite good. So it is it kicks you out in 15 minutes, half hour. You are in deep sleep. And if I wake up during the night, because I don't know, because of stress, because some thoughts, and what I do, I take more metformin and I take one more pill of Dramamine, and again I sleep. And now I am not supposed to work. I am not working. I do not have job. I stay at home. I decided to this month only to take care of my body. And then I sleep sometimes. Well, instead of 6 o'clock morning, I wake up at 9 or even 10 o'clock morning. So, okay, I hope it helps to this rejuvenate my body and to feel good. Okay, as supplements, I use vitamins of B group, especially B3 and B5 every day. In the morning, I take up to 5 grams of ascorbic acid because it is antioxidant, and up to 30 grams of raw starch, tapioca starch I use. An hour before training, I take 100-150 milligrams of DHEA, and for dinner, for late dinner, I eat mostly at 9 o'clock p.m. I eat organ meat up to 1 kilo, or maybe with some fat tissues also now, because I just decided to slow down this losing of fat. And to salt food, I use mostly a blend of table salt with potassium chloride. And before going to bed, I take metformin, Dramamine, melatonin, and magnesium chloride. So have I already got rid of toxins and vegetable oils accumulated in my body? Not yet, because again, I started this way of rejuvenation not very long ago, 8 months to be honest, and I see very big change in my constitution of my body. I got quite slim, and the waist is only 31 inch. Yes, so it's again a little bit problem because you cannot use your garderobe. So every 3 months, if you're losing weight so quick, then every 2-3 months you have to change your jeans or whatever pants, and then a little bit more expensive, and especially that you store, I mean, these old clothes are not in use anymore. You can give it to somebody for free or whatever, and to do it. But again, this is change of the clothes is yeah, so, but okay, but again, I feel quite well. I feel quite well and full of energy. So, but as I said, when you are getting to some limits, when percentage of fat is dropping, then you have this problem with toxicosis, and then I decided to slow down and to increase amount of fat in my diet. So again, in this video I used some information materials which are probably copyrighted, and then, but I don't have any financial profits from it. The purpose of my video is only education, and maybe it is kind of blog that I just share my opinion. I try to see also to make records how I go in time, and all my ideas, so what I'm getting from internet and from reading scientific publications and thinking, and my own experiences, what I present in here, and so I don't think I violate any copyrights. Well, and so it is, I think it is okay, and maybe in time I will produce some, I mean, I will write maybe some books with more with information which will be more consistent, more in order. Now, unfortunately, quality of my videos, yeah, it's not very high. But again, I am not much maybe interested, because I do not get any money, any profit from this. I'm just sharing my experience, my knowledge, and if yeah, if you subscribe and comment, it will be support. So, your support is highly appreciated, and so again, please ask questions, because as I said, I have quite, my opinion is not so popular. I do not follow recommendation of official medicine. I don't attend this general physicians, maybe for 15 years, and because I never get ill, and if I ill, I try to find a way to heal myself, and mostly it is with the diet and some exercises, and maybe some I don't know, exercises, and maybe fasting. This intermittent fasting was a very big help for me. So, okay, have a wonderful day, and till next video. Ciao.